Well, we've made it at last to Scants UKA show. We had a disaster yesterday when the car broke down, so we never got here. But we've made it here with kind assistance, and we're hoping to have a good day here. Swift's got a couple of agility classes to do, see if we can get her some points to get her up to novice. And Magpie's just having a go at the steeplechase, and we've got the SWAG qualifiers. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully we'll have a good day. For the time being, the dogs are enjoying having a bit of exercise in a new place. So here we have our first run of the day. This is Beginners Agility, and it's a nice setup. It's a cool course. Swift starts off great. We get what I wanted. I wanted her to hold her weight for a start because she wasn't doing that last week. We got that. We got the digger. But we had an issue on the dog walk. We're having that issue there where she lost connection. And basically she jumped off and turned back at the end, missing her contact, and then we had that disconnect. We then had another disconnect after the A-frame. Again, similar reason, she's getting too ahead of me on the contacts, which is great, but she then turns back and barks. However, we got into the weaves and we completed the seesaw, and we finished actually pretty good. And so apart from the 5 faults for the missed dog walk contact and of course losing time for the arguments, there was some really nice stuff in here. I also should mention this is a venue she finds quite spooky because it's metal and she finds it quite rattly, so there was a couple of spooky moments there, but she did good overall. I'm really pleased with what she got up to here. Now here we have the second run. This is Beginners Steeplechase, and this was the SWAG qualifier. Now it's a lovely straight line at that start, and I wanted a really long lead out, so I went up 3 jumps to give a really long lead out. And then I was hopeful that Swift would hold it for a start, and look at her go. She did a beautiful long line up into that tunnel, nice drive. She committed across to the next sequence. And then it was quite straightforward, but I wanted to get there for the blind. I didn't commit for the blind. So then we had a rear cross and it didn't work so well, but we still got it. Now I wanted to do another front cross there. I didn't do it. Never mind. And then we had an argument in the rear cross in the tunnels. Don't know why we get those arguments. Work in progress. Now we're going to go up, and she's got a little bit lost. She's got a little bit lost connection because we've had that little bit of disagreement over the rear cross, but we're coming here. She got the rear cross on that one, and now we're going for that straight line home, and she makes it. Just a couple of hesitations here. She nearly takes the wrong jump, so I have to call her back, but then she goes on and she finishes, and we actually came 4th in the end. Now we have Magpie on the same course, Beginner Steeplechase. She held her weight beautifully considering there were people all behind her, and that is a high pressure situation for a dog. So I was pleased with that. I got a 2 jump lead out. She did miss the second jump. I did not even realise that. But she powered down that line to that tunnel. It was beautiful. I loved that power down that line. We had a couple of disconnect moments, mainly on things like lateral distance and her not being sure where she was going. However, she remained focused and listening to me during the course. Even when I did briefly, just my brain shut down and I stopped giving her cues at one point. I literally just froze. Apart from that, she did some really nice stuff, and the important thing is she didn't poo or pee in the ring, which is awesome. We've had that issue last year, and that was an underconfidence thing, an insecurity. So she didn't do that. She stayed with me, and she was happy. She was confident. It's a brand new venue, brand new surface for her to run on. So this was all wins for me. I was really pleased with that single run from her, even though it didn't achieve anything. It was obviously an elimination. This is the last course of the day. This was Beginner's Agility with Swift, and it was a nice course. Interesting start because we had to literally do a very shallow turn from the jump number 1 to the net jump number 2. Did that fine, quite happy with that. She then powered on nicely into the tunnel, but didn't power up to the seesaw. It happens. Again, we had the same disconnects we've been having before. It's mainly when she gets too far ahead of me or too laterally distant from me. But I was really pleased with her weave entry on this one. She did miss her dog walk contact again. Again, she gets so far ahead of me. She's like, she looks back and then she misses her contact. So it's an area we need to work on. We had some nice stuff. Unfortunately, at the very last, we had a beautiful finish. We were getting there, and I asked her to do a rear cross, turn left, and she turned right, and then she came around behind me and back jumped, which was such a shame. But there you go. It is what it is, and it goes to show we've got things to work on, but now we know.